Welcome to the Human Potential Podcast. My name is Laura, and this is my co host, Ken.
Hello, everybody. Hello, we back.
Back. And in today's episode, we're going to be doing a guided visualization. And for those of you who are not familiar with visualizing, it is the spiritual practice of imagining what you desire. And it usually has these three components: imagining, feeling, and believing. So let's look at each of those a little bit closer. Imagining is creating the picture in your mind of what is not yet real. Feeling is connecting to the feelings and the emotions that you would have if you were in possession of your desired reality. And belief, this is the vibrational state of knowing that what you desire already exists, and your work is to get in alignment with it so you can receive it with ease. So that sounds pretty simple, and I'm going to give you an example of how to boost your visualization effectiveness and efficiency. Because if you've never done visualization before, there are some important components to consider. So say that you are living paycheck to paycheck in a studio apartment and you have this wish to go on vacation. So the first thing you do is imagine that first step. And most people are really good at this part. They can close their eyes or daydream exactly like on the beach or having that money, having that lover, whatever it is. And the more specific you are, the better your visualization is going to be, and the more real you're going to make it for yourself. And the universe loves when you give it details, because that sends a message to source that you already know that it's there, because you can fill in all of the details of what it is that you desire. So when you imagine, instead of imagining going on vacation, which is pretty general, imagine this. In April of 2025, I will be in the Bahamas at an all-inclusive resort for 5 days and 4 nights. So that's really a lot more specific than our first example of just, I wish I could go on vacation. And then the second step, feeling, this is where a lot of people get tripped up, and a lot of it is our subconscious stuff coming to the surface. So say we create the picture in our mind. I want to go on vacation. The thing that comes up for a lot of people if they're in this situation of living paycheck to paycheck and struggling is, oh, I'll never be able to get the time off of work, and I'll never have enough money to do that. And we push ourselves away from our desire becoming real for us, just in our mind, not even in reality, but with our doubt and our fear and our uncertainty. Those are feelings that will push you away from what you want and not bring you closer to it. So identify the feelings that you would have if you were already in possession of your desire. So that means for a lot of people, go to the very end. What would you feel like if you were on the beach, feeling the breeze, smelling the salty air? What is the feeling that you have? Is it peace? Is it relaxation? Is it joy? And just connect to that. Don't worry about all of the in-between of how it's going to happen, because that's not your work. Just connect to the feeling. And then the last piece is belief. And for a lot of us, this is going to be a practice at first. It's not going to feel real, and it's not going to feel true, and that's okay. Just commit to practicing it being real. Put little sticky notes on your mirror. Journal about it. Imagine it happening before you go to bed. Any of these practices will help solidify the belief that it already exists for you. So those are just a few tips that'll be helpful. Did you want to add anything, Ken?
Oh yeah. As far as your subconscious, because I've had this problem before where I say that I want something, and then immediately I start to focus on why I can't get it. And then what you focus on is what you attract. So instead of you focusing on you being on the beach and you loving and you having a great time at the beach, you're focused on why you can't do it. And those are the things that generate for you. And you wonder why you don't go on vacation. It's because everything that you focused on, you literally created it from you focusing on that. So that's just all I want to add on it.
Perfect. And so you're going to be my volunteer. So I'll be guiding you and everyone who's listening through the visualization. So what I wanted to ask you is, what is something that you desire? That you can
Money,
money. Okay,
financial freedom.
financial freedom. And what would you say is the negative side of the coin if you were to focus on not having it? What is the emotion connected to it?
Lack, fear,
Fear. Okay, fear.
worry.
So if you flipped over that coin of financial freedom from fear, what's on the other side of it? What's the positive emotion?
Certainty,
Certainty.
knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the freedom, just that.
Okay.
The freedom, the fear is freedom is on the other side of fear. That's what I think.
Okay. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is have you fill in the details with your five senses. What temperature is it? Is it cold? Is it cool? Is it tepid? Is it warm? Is it hot?
Oh, it's warm. It's perfect.
Warm. Okay. And then what kind of element would be connected to freedom? So some examples would be light, wind, water, fire, air.
Oh, elements. I would say air. I would say air because air is the most free thing I think we have.
Right. Perfect. So what color would freedom have?
I just thought about this right now because I want since I want freedom to represent it and I want to see it so much. I have a lot of blue in my house. I love blue. I love the stuff in my room is a lot of it is blue. So let's go with blue because when I see my room and I see all of my stuff, I want it to represent the freedom.
And what shade of blue? Is it like a sky blue? Is it like a deep blue? Is it a bright blue?
It's a royal blue.
Royal blue. Perfect. Okay. We have warm royal blue. Air is what's going to connect us to freedom. So everyone, just if you need to write that down, go ahead, but just connect to those points leading to freedom. Warm royal blue, air. And then we're going to get into our comfortable space. And what we're going to do is bring our attention to the space that we're in, the space that our physical body is in. So maybe you're in your backyard, your bedroom, your living room, wherever you are. Just create a nice little border around that space and feel your body inside of it. And then we're going to bring our attention to our physical body. This is your home. This is where you create. So bring your attention to your body. And then we're going to bring our attention to our breath. So everyone place your hands over your heart space, and you're just going to take one deep breath into your hands, breathing in for a few seconds, holding it for a few seconds, and then slowly letting it out through your mouth, like you're blowing out a candle, blowing air through a straw. So you want to make that exhale longer than the inhale and the hold. And then on your next inhale, bring the hands to the abdomen above the belly button and repeat the breath. In for a few seconds, hold for a few seconds, and slowly breathe out. And then one more breath, bringing the hands under the belly button. In for a few seconds. Holding for a few seconds. And slowly letting it out. And you can release your hands from your lower belly and just place them in your lap or at your sides, whatever is more comfortable. And let's begin. So everyone, close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or you could leave them open. And we're going to connect to the feeling of freedom, remembering that royal blue, warm air quality that it has. And we're going to open up the crown of our head, the very top of our head, and just let that freedom pour in, going into our brain, into our face, into the back of the head, letting that royal blue warm air soften the space behind your eyes, sweep around your ears, relax the muscles in the face, and soften the muscles in the back of the neck, letting that whole space of your head fill with that warm royal blue air. Feeling space open up anywhere where it feels contracted in the head, letting that air just whip around and create some space for freedom to come in. And then we're going to slowly bring that warm royal blue air down to the throat, letting it open up our chakra where we communicate what it is that we desire, finding our voice so that we can communicate and connect to that royal blue, warm, airy freedom. Letting it wrap around the sides of our neck, the back of our neck, so that the front and back sides of that communication throat chakra is open and ready to receive freedom. And now we're going to let that warm royal blue air flow down into the chest, the heart space, the lungs, and the upper back. Opening up our heart to receive freedom. Allowing ourselves to breathe in that royal blue warm air of freedom into our lungs and every cell in our body. Letting it soften any muscles in the upper back, the shoulders and upper back area are where we hold a lot of heavy energy, responsibility, doubt. So just let that warm royal blue air fill that space, soften any hard edges, and melt any blockages that are getting in the way of receiving the freedom that is there for you. Taking a few breaths of that warm royal blue air into your lungs, into your body, and delivering it to every cell. And on your next breath, imagine that warm air swirling down into your arms, into the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms, and the hands. And our arms and hands do a lot of giving and doing. And this is the opportunity for receiving. Letting that warm royal blue air go into every finger, reaching the fingertips, and opening you up to receiving freedom. And if you notice your hands being in fists or curled up, just open them up. And now we're going to draw that warm royal blue air back up the arms, and when it gets to the chest, let it pour into the abdomen, the front, the sides of the rib cage, and the back, connecting into all of the organs in this area. The stomach, which can sometimes hold worry, letting some of that go. Gallbladder and liver can hold anger and resentment towards other people and ourselves. Let some of that air come into that area and melt some of those feelings. The spleen is where we nurture ourselves. Breathe some of that royal blue warm air into that organ. The small intestine lives here as well, and it is the decision maker. So let some of that royal blue energy fill the small intestine, allowing us to easily and definitively connect to our desires. And bring your attention to the back of the body, allowing our spine to hold us up with the sureness and the belief in freedom. Softening any tension in the mid-back, in the lower back, and in our lower back is where our kidneys live. And this is the organ that can hold fear. So if you notice any pain, tension, or fear coming up in that lower back, pour some of that warm royal blue air into this space. And let it warm any of the cold fear that may be stuck in the kidney area, so that the entire abdomen from front to back and all of the vital organs that are located here are open and ready to receive freedom. Now we're going to let that freedom come into our pelvic space, our hips, our pelvis, and in the lower back, the sacrum, which is the bone at the base of the spine. This is where our sacral and root chakras live. So this is where we do all of our creating, our cultivating, and it is where our beliefs and what we're grounded in is located. So if there's anything here that you have been grounded in that keeps you from easily connecting to freedom, Notice it and give it permission to move down and out the bottoms of the feet. And connect with your sacral and root chakras and say, what I want to live here is this warm royal blue air and the freedom connected to it, so that I have the freedom to create the life that I desire and be grounded in the feelings and the beliefs that will make that desire real for me. Taking a couple deep breaths into the pelvis, expanding it, opening it up, so that you can receive what you desire. And now we're going to bring that warm royal blue air down into the legs. The upper legs, the front, the sides, the back, down into the knees. And our knees are very much connected to either being held back in the past, which is the left knee, or difficulty moving forward, which is the right knee. So just notice if either of your knees have some tension, injury, restriction, and invite that warm royal blue air to fill the knees with freedom to let go of the past and move forward into your desired life with ease. And letting that warm air flow down into the lower legs, softening the calves, coming into the feet, and into each of the 10 toes, so that your entire body is filled with this warm royal blue air. Every inch of it, so much so that it starts to expand into your aura, the electromagnetic field around your body that serves as a protective spacesuit for your physical body. And it wraps around 360 degrees around your body. So begin to imagine that royal blue warm air reaching out into the aura, 360 degrees around you, so that you are filled and surrounded by freedom. And that electromagnetic field around your body draws what you desire into you, reflects it, and also reaches out into the world for it. And just take a few deep breaths here as you fill your aura with that warm, royal blue, free air. Allowing it to light up your aura with that royal blue color. Bring a lightness to it with the air. And light it up with that warmth. And on your next inhale, bring all of that freedom energy into the center of your body, drawing it back to center so that it looks like a royal blue lightning rod that reaches above the top of your head, through the center of your body, and down into the earth between your feet, so that you are grounded in freedom and you are connected to freedom. And at your center, at your core, you are freedom. Just take a few deep breaths there as you connect to the knowing that your entire body and aura are filled with this royal blue, warm air and the freedom that is connected to it. And anytime you wish to connect with it, it is there, inside of you, part of you, is all of you, and available to you. And let's bring our hands back over the heart, taking 3 deep breaths here. In for a few seconds, holding it for a few seconds, and slowly letting it out. Repeat that 2 more times. In for a few, hold for a few, and release slowly, remembering this feeling inside of you as you take the last deep breath. In for a few, breathing in that freedom, holding it for a few, feeling that energy of freedom circulate in your body, and releasing any resistance to freedom as you slowly exhale. And bring your hands down to your lap and just start to wiggle your toes and your fingers, bringing yourself back to your body, back to the space that you're in. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes. Welcome back.
Oh boy.
How was that for you, Kim? Share with us.
Yeah, I really like that you gave me you gave me freedom for that to represent, because I've done meditations similar to this before, where I just like do a guided thing where it's supposed to help me clear my chakras and stuff. So um the fact that it was attached to something that I desired was something better for me. Yeah, I liked it. And just for you listeners that, if you're having, because I've had trouble visualizing stuff and feeling certain things when I first started doing this. So for me, what I did when she was talking about the air and the blue and all that stuff, I would just see blue smoke and air just flowing through my body. I would see the lightning rod clear as day going through my body. It was just the imagination. You have to focus on seeing the things and do it your way. I found things that when I was doing guided meditations, it didn't resonate with me what they were talking about. But once I imagined things my way, it felt a lot better.
Right. And I usually do this kind of visualization after I've worked with somebody for an hour and we end with this. So
Hmm.
it's very easy for them to connect to it at that point because we've done all of this work with, whatever's getting in their way. And then I get to infuse that freedom or that love or that, whatever it is they're desiring into them. So listen to this more than once. Connect to whatever color. If royal blue wasn't your color, pick a different color, pick a different temperature. Whatever makes it real for you, that's what's going to work for you.
Yeah, yeah. That that visualization for me, I really like that one. I'm gonna listen to this again because I want to go through that again. And because at some points I was just like I was just too deep into it. I was like, whoa, this is this is kind of deep right now. So I was like, all right, let me
Bring
let
it
me get
back.
back to normal. Yeah, let me bring it back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked it. I hope the viewers got something for this, or the listeners got something for this, because I sure did.
And this is specifically to help you with that feeling part of the equation. Because remember, I said in the beginning, it's usually really easy for people to imagine it, but the feeling and the
Hmm.
belief is what we have trouble with. So, this visualization can be a template for you to say, okay, my thing is fear around a specific topic. So, flip the coin over of fear, and what would be on the other side if it felt good to you? And then just fill in each of the details. Well, joy would be on that side, and it would be yellow, and it would be water, whatever elements you want to add to it. The key is to make it feel real to you. And then the visualization just helps solidify it in your body and in your aura. And the more you do it, the faster your body and your mind will connect to it. It's just like anything else. If you practice it, your body will just go right there to connecting to it. And then pretty soon, you don't even have to do the visualization. You can just close your eyes and say, royal blue, warm air, and boom, you're there. So just commit to practicing it so that you can really connect to the feelings that allow you to believe that your desire is real.
Yeah, yeah, just yeah, feel it, feel it. I've been on my path lately, and I've been really feeling the things, even though I can't visibly see them. Right, in my from my five senses, because we think our senses are just the reality of it. The imagination is just as real as what you see out here. So imagine it first, because the person that I am now and the things that I've wanted, I've seen myself having these things before I even got them. And now I have all these things that I've seen. It's only because I've seen it first. So I've imagined it in my head, and then I believe that I can get them. I believe that I can get them, and then I didn't worry about how I was going to get them, because then the how puts you in a position to where you really start to, you can't see it, because how am I going to do this? I've never seen nobody in my family do it. I never seen nobody in my neighborhood do it. So how am I going to do it? So your vision is how you're going to do it. When you see it in your head, that's when you can make it a reality.
And I also just wanted to mention this in case anyone else is in a similar boat. I am blind, and so I've definitely heard of people talking about like vision boards and other things that are very visual, that are great practices if you can see. But for me, when
Hmm.
I learned about visualization, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing because I don't need anything outside of myself to create it for myself. All I have to do is go inside myself and imagine it, and I can make it real. I don't have to use anything external because sometimes those kind of things will serve as a roadblock for me. So, a visualization, it's free. All you need is yourself
Yeah.
and the commitment to visualizing, and there you go. You're on your way to making what you
Mm.
desire real.
And let me say this too, before we get out of here. I had a problem with visualization at first, because when I would try to visualize things, it would be super hazy. It would be like gray, and I couldn't really make out the details of it. And when I first started, I couldn't get over that. I was like, why everything I see is gray? I visualize myself doing things, but it's like foggy. So the more I practice it, the better I got. I started just visualizing smaller things. Like I would just visualize an apple and I would see it in my head and I would visualize it in detail. I would go around the apple, I would look around the stem, I would see the color, I would visualize brightening it up, I would change the color, and I would just practice that. And over time, my visualization got clear. Like I could see myself doing anything now on the moon, moonwalking, all of that.
Yeah. And the key part of what Ken just said is he practiced. He didn't do it once or twice and say, "Oh, I suck at this, I give up." He just found a way where it felt a little easier for him. And then he worked his way up to the really meaningful, bigger things. So it's
Hmm. Hmm.
showing up and doing it.
Yeah, that's the part that most people, most of us, we just want the goal. We just want that part, but we don't want to put the work in for the goal. I just want to be rich now. Give it to me. Like we don't. It's work. It's work. But like I say all the time, everything that you put in is gonna be well worth your time in the end. It's not the destination. It's your journey. It's how you get there. I don't want to be rich to be rich. I want to be rich for the person that I become in order to be rich. That's why I want the money.
And focusing on not not the, like you said, how am I going to get there, but just the feeling of like, how am I going to feel when I get there, because that is what fills in all of the details behind it. So if you're willing to just practice, like, I would feel like this if I was on the beach, or if I had that money, or if I had that lover, and just commit to finding that feeling everywhere else in your life. Because obviously, at first, it's not going to be in that specific department, which is exactly why you're doing this practice. But it's everywhere if you look for it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this and that you'll come back and listen to this as many times as you wish to reach your desired life. And please come back and join us next week to activate your human potential.